12 have become 24, that will soon be 48, then 96, then 192. A promise we made long ago, now a promise we are keeping. A promise to families, kids, moms, dads, that have a chance to break their current cycle, to turn hopelessness into hopefulness. Men, women, and families come to us from the street, from camps and cars, and find a hand up to help them get back on their feet. Broken lives are mended. Parents are reunited with children. A second chance becomes a better life. At Hope House, the homeless find a safe place and become healthy physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually.
I'm a 5-year veteran, originally from New York State. I grew up with alcoholic parents, became an alcoholic myself at about age 17 or so. Was discharged from the military due to that, and when I got out, I moved out to Southern California to be close to my mom and got further into my alcoholism and drug addiction. Just not being able to be a mom or being really focused enough to be a mom at the time. I lost custody of both of them on Veterans Day of 2002. That was the last time I've seen my older 2 children. It was closed adoption due to my addictions and other issues. I got pregnant with Elizabeth in January of 2008. And basically because of losing my older 2 children, 6 days after Elizabeth was born, she was placed in foster care also.
Before coming to the Hope House, I was living in a clean and sober living house in Medford that I had started living in after coming out of the MOMS program, which is a drug rehabilitation place. I was living there and I relapsed on drugs, and when I relapsed, they asked me to leave my housing, and so I was homeless. I lost my visits with my children. I lost my job. I had nowhere to go. My family pretty much had, at that time, said, enough is enough. They were done, and I had nowhere to go.
My wife's Darla. I met her about 2 years ago at a drug dealer's house. I went over to buy some drugs. Darla needed somewhere to stay, and I let her come over and stay at my place for a while. I'd been using and drinking for years up to that point, shooting up methamphetamines, drinking every day. In the midst of all that, how we fell in love, I don't know how that happened, but it did. And I wanted to get clean and sober, and I tried leaving the Medford area. A week later, my girlfriend Darla at the time, so my girlfriend called me and told me she was pregnant. She got on the bus, came there. At that point, we weren't married, but we were thinking about splitting up because all I was doing was drinking. I'd go to work, I'd come home and drink. And that was number one in my life. I mean, by this time, Brian was born, my son, Brian Jr. He was about 2 months old. We decided to come back to Oregon. Stayed at my sister's house for about a week and got into the motel. I seen a person walking upstairs, and I knew I could feel it, that he had some meth, and I thought, well, you know what, I can just do it one time. Bought some syringes and we shot up some meth, and the next day while I was at work, DHS knocked on the door. Somebody had turned us in for a welfare check, and they took my son.
We have created a place where the hopeless become the hopeful.
The room we were in there, it was kind of a small room, so it wasn't big enough for both of us. So I felt that we needed a bigger place, and we were ready to leave, transition from the program. And we've been here for almost 8 months now. I really sincerely believe when they say Hope House, this is a place of hope. It's given me back my hope for Elizabeth and I to be able to be a family. And I'm just grateful for the staff here, the classes they offer, the meeting on site. I'm actually in a service position in the meeting here. I'm doing level 2 classes with Bill, and I'm really getting a lot out of that because it's going into like boundary setting and, you know, unhealthy relationships, and those are basic issues that I need a lot of work on because those are what take me out.
After coming to the Hope House, I went to court, and the director of the Hope House came with me, and I got my visits back. I stay in the single women's dorm, which I have 2 other women that stay with me, and then on the weekends that I have the kids, I get to come to the apartment and have my visits in the apartment with my children, and so we have a chance to get away and it just be us again. The rules for the Hope House are if I have the boys at least 3 to 4 days a week, then I can get into a family unit, and then I can get into my own apartment. Right now it's just for the visits, and I'm just building up everything. I have to start over. And I'm doing that. The Hope House is allowing me to do that through them as far as my visits go, and building my visits up to get them more and more on a regular basis.
In the midst of getting sober and Darla staying clean and sober, I got to see my son twice a week, and it went up to 3 times a week, and then 4 times a week, and then 5 times a week. Because of our progress, they could see that we're making some definite changes. The next thing that they wanted us to do was to find some housing that was a safe environment for my son to be in. We got on a list for this place and got in here, and this place has been a blessing. Between God and Hope House is pretty much, it's saved my life. It's given me a new way to live. I didn't know that life could be so good. The structure here kind of gives me a new way to live, a way that I haven't lived before. I've never really had to do certain things in life to be a grown man and live the way that most people live. So it's been such a blessing for Darla and I to move in here.
Today we celebrate. We celebrate hope. The hope we created for 217 people, including 39 families and 52 children last year alone. We have reunited families that are now as one.
How I feel today, I feel awesome. I feel very blessed.
I'm working. I'm just doing much better. My kids are opening up to me. They love coming here. They love the people here. It's a great place. There's a lot of great people that live here.
I don't have to do this by myself. I have God and the people that work here. There's an amazing staff that if we have any problems, they help us out so much. It gives us that little backbone. If we have any, if we need some reassurance on things, they reassure us on how well we're doing or the areas that you're not doing. It's pretty much it's teaching me a new way to live.
We have a long way to go to help all the families that need it today. But through the commitment and generosity of a great community, we have a house for people to come and be hopeful for their future.
And my hopes for Elizabeth and I are to, complete at least a year here, maybe more. We'll see how it works, but just to be able to transition and make it together as mom and daughter and keep my spirituality in place, because I know that's a big part of it also.
I love this place. I'm so happy to be here.
I feel better. I feel alive. I feel good. I'm so thankful for the Hope House.
Being able to be given that third chance to be the mom that I know I can be, the nurturing, the loving, the caregiver for her.
It's opened so many doors for me and just changed so many parts of my life when I was feeling hopeless and shameful. And you know what I mean? These people opened the doors and made me see hope and made things possible. It's been such a great thing in my life.
Today we celebrate hope. Today we celebrate Hope Village and Hope House.